All right. So the first question is, how do you suggest for teens struggling with the addiction of pornography and masturbation in such a diluted and desensitized earthly world? This was our top voted question on Slido. So we had
Yeah,
to ask.
so obviously I get this question a lot, okay? And I want to be honest and frank with you guys since you asked an honest question and say it's not just teens, okay? So a lot of people struggle with this, and I'll be honest, I'll tell you exactly what I tell my children of confession. I think the key to the spiritual life, and actually, that's actually, what was Abouna Elijah was his name, correct? Abouna Elijah, okay?
Yeah.
His talk was about spiritual warfare, but the way you worded it, it was about the victory, not about the warfare. I think the key to spiritual life is to focus on the positives, not the negatives. What I mean by that is, when my children in confession come to me and tell me, I do this, and I do this, and I do this, and I do this, and say all the bad stuff, I always ask, okay, tell me about the good stuff. Tell me, are you spending time in prayer? Are you spending time in your Bible? Are you serving? Like, tell me about the good stuff. Because think about it this way. Okay, let's again go to a sports analogy. If I do nothing wrong, but also nothing right, is that good or not good? That's not good. Like, if I don't, let's say I'm married to my wife, okay? I am married to my wife, okay? And I don't steal from her, and I don't get angry at her, and I don't cheat on her. Does that mean we have a good marriage? No. Because, I mean, to have a good marriage, it has to be positive things that I'm doing. So I want to focus on the positives. Okay, again, back to the sports analogy. If I have a good defense and no one scores on me, but I never score on the other goal, I'm never going to win. I want to be on the offensive spiritually. So what I'm going to say to you who struggle with any sin, any addiction, fight on offense. The best defense is a good offense. If you don't want the other team to score on your goal, go shoot the ball on their goal. Go kick the ball on that side. Go serve in the church. Go out there and spend time in prayer. Go read a spiritual book, okay? Abouna was asking who reads, and he was saying, but that's how we learn things. You got to learn how to read. You got to learn. I'm not saying you don't know how to read, but I'm saying you got to have the habit of reading. You got to have the habit of reading, because this is how we don't know St. Anthony. But how can I be a disciple of St. Anthony? I read about his life. Okay, St. Athanasius, who is, to me, I feel like I'm his disciple. Why? Because I read his books. And when you read someone's books, it's being discipled by him. Okay, and so many people out there say, Abouna, we feel like we know, like to me, we feel like we know you and we learn from you. I haven't met you, okay? But if you read my book, you listen to my sermons, it's like sitting at someone's feet. So my answer to that question is, don't focus on what the bad that you're doing. Focus on the positive, okay? Go spend your time in positive things. Go have good fellowship, again, after this whole thing passes. Okay, spend time in good circles. And the more and more that you kick the ball on that side, okay, the less they'll score on your goal. I think of another example. In wartime, I want to protect it so that the other people don't capture my home base. Okay, that's true. But if you never attack, you're never going to win the war. You're going to be fighting the same battle for the rest of your life. Okay, you need to go out there and advance. And sometimes when you advance, you may lose and have some casualties, but that's the only way to win the war. Okay, so I would say fight on the good side, fight on the positive side, and don't let the negative be the focus of your life.